Alright, I'm going to be doing a full walkthrough of the hot dog time trial in Eggman Land. It is 2023, so I don't know what the demand for this kind of video is, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways, because I've been having fun with this game. For this beginning part, we're definitely going to want to make sure we take this jump right here. It's easy enough to make every single time, so we should just go ahead and do it. And when we go off, we'll see this enemy right here that we can hit with our homing attack. You can go through this part as slow as you want. It doesn't, it's not gonna, you're probably not gonna find yourself dying a lot here. Go ahead and hit her with that ring dash. Very simple. That's gonna do it for Sonic's first daytime part. Not really much to say on that. That shouldn't be giving you any problems. We're gonna go to this. Notice I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just gonna do some very simple stuff. Just skip past these enemies. They can be a little annoying sometimes. They'll hit you, and I just really don't like this part. It's probably my least favorite part of the entire mission. Go ahead and rush this switch too. Sometimes these guys can be annoying. I've been hit up to 4 times when I was doing this, but usually if they hit you once and you go right back to the switch, you'll be good. Carry these teapots up here, or whatever these are. Lava pots. These early parts probably aren't giving you much trouble. I'm going to go ahead and skip through this fight right here. Alright, we flipped the switch. We're getting ready to jump on this platform. And when we change back over to Sonic, just make sure you gently walk into the spring right here. Because sometimes you can just walk right off. Especially since we're just getting the hot dogs. This part's straightforward. Wait for the blocks. I usually like to boost into the walls just to make sure I stick. Although on that one I don't even think you have to. I think you can just homing attack the enemy. So for this one we're not going to worry about that path over there. We're just going to jump on this platform. Jump over. Wait for the blocks. Simple stuff. Hit that boost. If you get hit by that spinning blade right there, it's not a big deal. Gonna get ready to go on a roller coaster ride. Alright, now the fun's begun. This one's not too bad. This is the only turn we need to take note of. We want to hold right, and then we can try to hit these boosts to level ourselves out. But beyond that, you pretty much just want to try to stay in the middle. Funnest part right here, weaving through those. It's not mandatory, you can just jump over them. Just staying straight on here. And you'll have to make this, do that jump. When you get out, the robot right there will always shoot at you, so be cautious of it. And I wouldn't even risk it like I did right there. You see, I almost fell off. I would just gently walk my way through there normally. Because it's a slip and slide there, so just be cautious of that and just walk through it. And now we're in the boiler room. We're just going to get ourselves down onto this pipe. There's a couple fancy tricks you can do in there. I'm not going to be doing them. I'm going to make it nice and easy. So we'll just straight walk our way here. Recalibrate our camera so we can get a straight shot. Be careful on this corner right here. We'll be able to recalibrate the camera again. You can pretty much always recalibrate the camera so long as you're not on a corner in this level. So we're going to do nice, straight camera shots. We're going to skip through these enemies. They can sometimes cause some problems, but usually not. There is a shortcut in this level to the left of Sonic right now, but we're not going to do it. Just go straight. if you get hit by these fire things, if you jump again and do his grab, where he grabs onto the ledge, you'll be able to get back, so you don't really have to worry about those. Little tricky jump right there. Just gently line yourself up and drop off. Do a little cornering. Just be cautious of the corners, because that's when the camera's going to shift angle, and that's when you're most susceptible to falling off. We're going to line it up, and to make this jump, we're going to jump right before that area where the pipes connect. Pretty easy straight shot. Always like to wait on these, whatever you want to call them, poles that retract and then come out. Wait till you have a full cycle, so they don't retract on you when you're on it. Lined our camera up. Easy. Gonna flip the switch, and we're gonna go to this room with a bunch of enemies in it. We of course are not going to fight them, we're just gonna run past them. I don't think I've ever been hit by these guys, so just run right to it. And it's time to move back to Sonic. Next time we get full control of Sonic, we just have to be prepared for this robot. And we're gonna take this path. It's much easier. Once you hit this spring, just hold right, and then these blocks will start moving, and then you make your advance. Wait till the blocks have reset. And it's just a nice kind of staircase. We're gonna jump and boost onto that wall, and we're gonna mash A until we get through this. All blades, boost into this wall so we stick. If you get caught up in this area, it's really not that big of a deal. It's a little messy, but you'll get through it. Quick time event coming up. We're gonna get to the laser gates right here. The gates go high, low, high. So think about that when you're making your jumps. You don't need to pass this quick time event. You'll still end up in the same area. And we're just gonna wait for the blocks. Once we land on this block, this is just a simple hold right and jump. Keep doing it until you hit this spring. We'll hit X on that booster, and then we have to do one more jump once we get out. Gonna hit A to hit that, and we'll get up here. Whatever you do on this segment, do not do the dash. You will probably fly off. I don't even know if you can do it, and it works. So do not do the ring dash right there. We have a few quick time events. This part, it doesn't matter. You can just zip through it. You'll have enough rings since we're not dying. The one thing you do have to know, though, is when you're falling, you have to land on the northern end, or else you're going to fall off the map. And from here, we have a decision to make. We're going to try to get up this wall. And if we fail, we're locked out of it. If you run that back, you can notice there's one point in there where I slightly let myself slide down the wall. If I didn't do that, I would have got hit by the blade, and then I would have fallen down, and I would not have been able to take this path. Alright, and obviously I have to show what happens if you screw up. When you activate these platforms, I usually try to time my jumps when they're lowering, not when they're all the way lowered. And, I mean, to be honest, you're probably gonna die at this point. It's not really too much to say on it. It's a pretty straightforward werehog section. Fortunately, there's a lot of poles. It's not too much of the sprint platforming. Whichever path you were doing, it doesn't matter because they both end up in the same spot. Fortunately, it gets a bit easier from here. All we're gonna do is break this wall, pull the lever, move on. We're not worried about the enemies. Slide down here without a care in the world. You can jump when you fall out of the pipe because we have to kill these guys to unlock the gate to pull the lever. I don't really know what the best method to kill these guys is, but they're not going to give you any problem. Skipped ahead past that fight to show you the switch. We're going to go into another tube, and this is going to be the last section that should really make a good attempt at killing you. Gonna be careful when we're leaving that pipe because it just kind of falls off, but it's pretty easy to make that even if you're just reacting to it. You can look down to see that there is this that you can climb on, grapple on. And this part's a little tricky. You'll have to take note of this gear down here. We're trying to land on it. Fortunately, the game gives you pretty good camera control during this segment. These guys shoot at you, and as you can see, it doesn't matter much. You still have one jump midair, and you can kind of readjust yourself if need be. It's not too bad. At this point, we've pretty much beat the level. Take another pipe down. We're going to get into a couple of boss fights. Mini boss fights, rather. Oh, we're not quite at the boss fights yet. We still have to break this door. Pull this lever. Not gonna fight anything because they're not mandatory. Now it's time for the boss fights. Make sure you break these on the right side so you can max out your unleash gauge. Again, I don't put much thought into the combat, so I'm just gonna dash up to him and mash Y. If you want to just walk into this next room, make sure you hit the lever first and then hit these so you'll get more unleash gauge, because it does, as you can see, empty out while you're doing the cutscene. And these guys, pretty easy. They heal themselves. Well, the mage guys heal these big titan dudes, and we're gonna just try to kill them before that even happens. If we can't manage to do that, we're just gonna have to do the fight straight up, and it's not that bad. And that is how we were gonna get the hot dogs. I didn't get too terrible of a time, about 14 minutes it looked like. But yeah, hopefully that helps with somebody. The one thing I would say is just be persistent, just keep at it, and you should be able to get it. did want to account for this, so we're going to go back to Sonic's third daytime part. And this is what happens if you hit the top ring and not the bottom one. We hit A and we just hold right. Doesn't matter if you get shocked by that thing because you can still recover and hit the spring. And then from here it's just an easy shot all the way to the top.